Most awardees are seniors who, over the past 4 years, have distinguished themselves as scholars and academic citizens of Wheaton College. This is also a day to honor those faculty members who have been important in the lives of students, including the Senior Class Faculty Appreciation Award. Finally, we will announce the faculty members who have been chosen by their colleagues to hold an endowed chair for the next 5 years. I'm pleased to open the ceremony with an address from our Honors Convocation speaker, Professor Jani Benoit, who teaches chemistry and environmental science. Since joining Wheaton in 2001, Professor Benoit has mentored many students in her classes and in her research lab, where she studies the biogeochemistry of mercury in estuaries and wetlands. Professor Benoit is currently the director of the Wheaton Inclusive STEM Excellence, or WISE initiative. WISE promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion in STEM through curriculum and faculty development, leadership training, campus projects, and peer cohort support. Professor Benoit has consistently supported equity and student success, including serving as the faculty mentor of POSSE 19. Please join me in welcoming Professor Jani Benoit to give a speech entitled Sustainability, Diverse Wisdom for a Common Goal.
I'm honored to be here this afternoon to address the class of 2024, my faculty and staff colleagues, and our valued guests. Honors Convocation is a time when we recognize outstanding academic achievement and also pay tribute to all of the students in the graduating class. In a few days, you will earn your degrees and make your way into a challenging professional landscape and troubled political era. I'm sure you've already started on your short-term goals of finding jobs, entering graduate school, or otherwise establishing careers. I trust you are also taking a long view of building satisfying lives for yourselves while contributing to society. In addition to these challenges, you face the daunting imperative of addressing a suite of global environmental problems, including climate change, ocean acidification, and loss of biodiversity. Now, I know you students are probably thinking, this talk is going to be a bummer. But let me assure you, my goal isn't to frighten you or depress you. Instead, I want to advance a framework through which we can address the current environmental crises while improving the quality of life for all living things. That is through sustainability. I'm sure you've heard the term sustainability. It isn't a new concept, though it has become somewhat of a buzzword recently. Sustainability provides an inclusive framework for protecting the planet and improving the human condition, because those two things are inextricably linked. To begin, let me offer some definitions. Professor Julian Agerman, author of Sustainable Communities and the Challenge of Environmental Justice, defines sustainability as the need to ensure a better quality of life for all, now and into the future, in a just and equitable manner, whilst living within the limits of supporting ecosystems. That's a lot. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says to pursue sustainability is to create and maintain the conditions under which humans and nature can exist in productive harmony to support present and future generations. One description that resonates with me is from the University of Washington. This definition came from a collaborative effort among students, faculty, and staff across the 4 UW campuses. They characterize sustainability simply as the capacity to create and maintain healthy, equitable, and diverse communities and ecosystems. They further describe the requisites of that capacity, saying that sustainability requires first an understanding and respect for the interdependence of air, water, land, and living things. Second, a recognition of the impacts of human activity. And third, a commitment to cultivate collective wisdom in in order to act. All of these definitions underscore the deep connection between the viability of the natural environment and the quality of human life. They seek to reconcile the tension between the two that exists when we lose sight of our dependence on the earth. To quote Vandria Barari, artist and indigenous activist from the Barari people of Brazil, "When Mother Earth gets sick, we get sick. The river, the forest, and the animals, they complete our lives, and they are the reason of our existence." Those definitions of sustainability also center equity and social justice. This focus means that some previous approaches to saving the planet must be reconsidered. For example, setting aside game preserves at the expense of indigenous peoples' access to their traditional lands is not acceptable. Similarly, promoting greener private vehicles without also developing accessible, affordable public transportation networks will not do. Inclusive definitions of sustainability tell us that we must address social injustice to heal the planet. As Jamie Margolin, queer climate activist and founder of the Zero Hour Movement, put it, the climate crisis is the grand culmination of all of the societal injustices that have been building up for centuries. Jamie's words provide a modern take on those of anti-colonialist and political ethicist Mohandas Gandhi, who said nearly a century ago, "What we are doing to the forests of the world is but a mirror reflection of what we are doing to ourselves and to one another." Considering its multifaceted nature, true sustainability is a big ask. It calls for radical changes that will draw on diverse knowledge and experience. If you will, diverse wisdom. With regard to knowledge, seeking sustainability is the ultimate multidisciplinary undertaking. Let me explain. To address environmental preservation, it seems obvious, or at least obvious to me, that natural science has much to contribute. For example, biology can help us understand threats to biodiversity, chemistry can contribute green energy sources, physics, math, and computer science can shed light on the drivers and consequences of climate change. The roles of nursing and public health are obvious, considering that access to health care is a cornerstone of any sustainable community. But our expansive definition of sustainability requires more, and the social sciences have much to offer as well. We need political science to help us reimagine global political systems that support rather than decimate natural and human resources. Anthropology helps us understand and appreciate the contributions of diverse cultures. Sociology and psychology illuminate the mechanisms and motivations behind human change. And history reminds us of our past mistakes so that we don't keep making them over and over again. Double-sided in a one newspaper. Furthermore, the study of modern languages and cultures is crucial for the kinds of meaningful dialogues we need to have around the world. The fields of business and economics are essential as we make the necessary transition from linear to circular economies. And of course, the humanities also play important roles. We know the power of theater, music, art, and film to inspire positive change, not to mention the ways they contribute to the quality of our lives. The study of English and classics reminds us of the wisdom embedded in ancient and modern texts, and the undeniable importance of writing as a medium for transformation. And we need philosophy and religion to help us answer the big questions, such as, what is the nature of our relationship with the earth? The quest for sustainability calls for education that not only prepares us for successful careers, but also helps us develop compassion and a strong sense of justice. It requires us to be equipped to make informed decisions about complex issues that include environmental, socio-political, and ethical dimensions. Modern higher education needs to respond to the imperative of sustainability by honoring the liberal arts tradition of a broad knowledge base that prepares students to deal with complexity, diversity, and change. This is the tradition that has long been at the heart of a Wheaton College education. Beyond using diverse knowledge, tackling sustainability will also require tapping into a multitude of human experiences. A truly sustainable future involves meaningful participation of all members of the human family. Since its inception, BIPOC communities have led the environmental justice movement, and there are many Black leaders who continue to advance sustainability. For example, Marjorie Richard, whose Louisiana neighbors suffered health effects due to pollution from both an oil refinery and a petrochemical plant. For 13 years, Marjorie led a grassroots effort seeking reductions in toxic emissions and community development funds. Finally, in a landmark decision, she beat big oil. Similarly, Latino and Latina activists have long fought for the rights of agricultural workers and, by extension, against agro-pollution. This is a battle begun by Cesar Chavez and continued today by young activists like Bianca Santoyo, whose parents were exposed to pesticide drift while working in California agricultural fields. Now is the time for the more visible environmental groups to recognize these efforts and embrace the wisdom of those who felt the impacts of environmental degradation most keenly. Clearly, we must also draw on the experiences of indigenous peoples who have created traditional ecological knowledge systems that are effective in conserving biodiversity and regulating resource use. Furthermore, we need to learn from the strong, inclusive movements for positive social change, such as AIDS prevention and marriage equality, that have been spearheaded by the LGBTQ+ communities. Finally, we must tap into the insights of neurodiverse and differently abled people who interact with and experience the environment in new ways. We are at a critical moment, both in terms of the integrity of the natural environment and survival of human societies. We must draw on diverse wisdom to achieve the common goal of sustainability. In the words of Robert Bullard, pioneering environmental justice scholar and activist, power rests in all of us, and when we operate as a collective, that's when we are most powerful. I hope these words encourage you to find ways to manifest sustainability in your lives. I urge you to keep it in the back of your minds and the forefront of your actions. Practice it in your households and workplaces. Build it into your careers and businesses. Demand it from your elected representatives, corporations, public institutions, and private colleges. Know that whatever knowledge and experiences you carry, you have wisdom to contribute as we collectively seek sustainability. I thank you for your attention. It wasn't easy. And I leave you with some lovely, hopeful words from poet Adrian Rich. The trees inside are moving out into the forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sing, no insect hide, no sun buried its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. Thank you.
Before I introduce the Wheaton Chamber Singers, I wonder if anyone would like to the recipients of the curricular awards through 3 pathways through which students can opt into various ways of experience in our curriculum. We're going to begin with the Eliza Wheaton Scholars Program. In honor of the college's namesake, the Eliza Wheaton Scholars Pathway encourages students to develop the habits of mind and critical skills that come from engaging in courses across the disciplines. Eliza Wheaton Scholars take courses in the creative arts, sciences, humanities, and social sciences. This breadth of experience gives them career-ready skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Most importantly, these scholars develop empathy for different perspectives, a skill that will set them apart in the global workforce. If you turn to page 10 and 11 of the program, you'll see a listing of all of the students graduating as Eliza Wheaton Scholars. Because there are so many of you, I will not read your names, but I invite you to stand and be recognized. please come forward. The History of Art Prize awarded to Isabel Mayers. The Miriam F. Carpenter Prize in Visual Art, Matthew Lambert. The Maria Victoria DeLuca Forsyth Prize in Visual Art, Caitlin Perigo. The Clinton V. McCoy Prize in Ecology, Isabella Giancola, Sarah Parati, and Ella Mae Sandford. The Tri Beta Biological Sciences Honor Society Award, Ryan Montero. The Kenneth A. Bray Citizenship Award for Business and Management, awarded to Irvin Henry Williams, Jr. The Diana Davis Spencer 1960 Prize in Business and Management to Lindsay Dumont. The Alita Pastor-Landis Prize in Biochemistry, awarded to Alexa Eaton and Christopher Toronto. The Evans Marshall Prize in Chemistry, awarded to Anna Curry. CRC Press Freshman Chemistry Achievement Award, awarded to Charlotte Daniels. The Undergraduate Award in Analytical Chemistry, awarded to Victor Siamiyama. The Undergraduate Award in Physical Chemistry, awarded to Hannah Guthrow. The Polyed Award for Achievement in Organic Chemistry, awarded to Arden Ulmer. The Jennings Family Prize in the Physical Science is awarded to Delia Knox. The Jean Mulcahy Keith Class of 44 Prize in Economics. We've got 3 winners. Hold your applause for a second. To Caden Charpentier, Sarah Tamara Giraldo, and Julianne Morse. The Catherine Filene Prize in Economics is awarded to Sarah Tamara Giraldo and Julianne Morse. The Banning Ford Prize in Education, awarded to Katie Hodes. The Anne Louise Knowles Class of 55 Memorial Prize in English, awarded to Alexis Coughlin, Maylin McDougall, Catriona Stewart, and Gabrielle McElhaney Wilbur. Memorial Prize for Original Verse, awarded to Florence Yu. The Caroline Edwards Class of 1970 Prize for Excellence in Creative Storytelling in Film and Media, awarded to Michael Canyon-Golo. Awarded to Aiden Connor and Nafisatu Saul. The Hedda Korsch Prize in German Studies, awarded to Sarah Tamara Giraldo. The Faculty Prize in Classics, awarded to Haley Luce. The Nancy P. Norton Prize in History and American Studies is awarded to Ian Antonio Gomez McCann and Hannah Wazinski. The Madeline F. Clark Wallace Mathematics Prize is awarded to Jeffrey Stewart. The Fred Collette Prize in Mathematics and Computer Science is awarded to Osler Ozturk and Jeffrey Stewart. The Garabedian Prize in Music, awarded to Walker Esselser. The Edna D. Parks Prize in Music Theory to Florence Yu. The Alalu Dimmock Prize in Voice Performance is awarded to Joey Del Santo. The Helen Zoe Duncan Prize in Piano Performance is awarded to Walker Elsasser. The Holcomb M. Austin Prize in Philosophy is awarded to Everett Misto and Gabrielle McElhaney Wilbur. The Tanya Francis Richard Sicard 05 Memorial Prize in Philosophy is awarded to Emma Kiernan. Ian Antonio Gomez McCann and Victor Ciamiano. The Abby McCloskey Class of 92 Memorial Prize in International Relations awarded to Ian Antonio Gomez McCann. The Meg L. Kearns Class of 99 Prize in Psychology awarded to Jenna Beebe, Salinas Ramirez, and Emily Thomas. The David Wolf Prize in Psychology is awarded to Elio Simpson. The J. Arthur Martin Prize in Religion to Ellie Reeder. The Lydia J. Dorman Prize in Religion, awarded to Benjamin Hirsch. The Prudence G. Lusky Memorial Prize in Russian Studies is awarded to Adrian Dietrich Haller. The Villers Prize in Science is awarded to Cassidy Fitzpatrick and Aislinn Torres. The Lucretia C. Mott Prize in Sociology is awarded to Catherine Lay. The Burlingame Moles Prize in Spanish is awarded to Annika Terry. I think that one was Annika. I was trying to read my phonetic pronunciation. The Lillian Hellman Prize in Theater and Dance goes to Joey Del Santo. Award for Excellence in Acting goes to Colin Boucher and Tess O'Brien. The Theater and Dance Award for Technical and Design Excellence is awarded to Morgan Calverley. Award for Dance, awarded to Nat Gibbs and Eve Williski. And the Maidu Simaray Illo Prize in Women's and Gender Studies is awarded to Maura Anish, Abigail Hinckley, and Elio Simpson. Whelan to present the awards and recognitions for scholarships.
Phi Beta Kappa Grace Shepherd Scholarship. Victor Ciamiano. Sophie Whelan. the Linda Francis Epstein 82 Award, Emma Lapreciosa. Three award recipients for the Sally Gale Gilman Award: Ariana Ferreira, Jolie Gagnon, Emily Thomas. The Howard Neely Prize, Alexis Kublin and Catriona Stewart. The Julia R. Lang Fellowship, Kyle Allen, Karina Sclafani, Christopher Toronto, Andrea Wood. The Helen and Irma Wheaton Fellowship, Sarah Flynn. The Jane Ruby Fellowship, Everett Misto. The Joseph and Susan Stampler Paretsky Fellowship, Maura Anish. The Wheaton Scholar Prize, Catherine Hubbard. The Gerald Zurich Graduate Fellowship, Isabel Coca. I would now like to call on the class of 2024 chair, Rachel Hickey.
Good evening, Wheaton College. It is an honor and pleasure to be speaking on behalf of the class of 2024 to announce the recipient of the 2024 Senior Faculty Appreciation Award. I have the privilege to say I have been in class with all three of the finalists, Professor Shute, Professor Bird, and Professor Kotyk. All three professors share the following traits: being approachable, accessible, and willing to be of assistance to help their students succeed. First, I would like to acknowledge the two professors who are the runners-up, Professor Shute and Professor Bird, who I had during fall of 2020. I was a remote student, and both professors did everything in their power to integrate the remote students in their classes to make sure we were able to have a good semester under the circumstances. Professor Shute and Professor Bird are both noted by former students as being professors who make class engaging, but are also open-minded to feedback to individualized assignments based on students' interests. Professor Shute is not here tonight due to being on sabbatical, but is honored to have been a finalist and sends his best wishes to the class of 2024. If Professor Bird is present tonight, I ask for you to stand up so we can acknowledge your dedication to the Wheaton community.
Thank you, guys. This is really overwhelming. Just pointing out that my colleagues are laughing at their own words. So I have a few words to say, but really thank you so much. All right, college is hard. We're here today celebrating some outstanding accomplishments. And I'm up there screaming in support for all of you. But there are a lot of accomplishments that are happening all around us all the time that go unacknowledged. Competing in your sport and getting your work done, getting the courage to go to office hours, writing a paper all night and still going to class the next day, being the first person in your family to go to college and figuring it out all on your own, studying, doing more, trying more, even though it's not easy, and continuing to show up. College is hard, but some part of you wanted to be here because you're ambitious and you wanted to know something more about something. And no matter what is happening in your life day to day, you're still making the effort to learn more, and I'm so proud of all of you for doing that. Because college is hard, and it is hard for everyone. And as a faculty member, I feel like I owe it to you to remember that, to hear you, to listen to what you say in course evaluations, to appreciate you by grading quickly, and as Rachel said, to make your education more equitable by lowering textbook costs. The little list there were my goals when I started at Wheaton. I had finally gotten my dream job, and I was terrified that I wasn't supposed to be here, and that I'd mess it up. But I figured if I taught well, and I listened, and I was considerate towards my students, it would probably be all right. And I figured in a best case scenario, I could maybe inspire a few people and hopefully have you enjoy your education. What I was completely unprepared for was how much I would enjoy being here, with all of you. I love being at Wheaton. You bring out the best in me. You brighten my day every single day, and I am so, so grateful. To quote Chris March, Project Runway Season 4, putting a spin on the Wizard of Oz, I had this incredible dream, and still all I kept saying was, I want to go home, and they sent me here.
Shirley Endowed Professorship in the Humanities, which was established just last year through a generous bequest from Professor Emerita Frances A. Shirley, a beloved, influential, and respected member of the faculty and a notable Shakespeare scholar. Professor Shirley taught in Wheaton's English department for 36 years. During her tenure at the college, she served as the chair of the English department, assistant dean, and associate provost. The Frances A. Shirley Endowed Professorship in Humanities will be awarded to a distinguished faculty member from the humanities, particularly in the fields of English, theater, and dramatic literature. The first recipient of the Frances A. Shirley Endowed Professorship wrote in their application that, quote, Frances taught Shakespeare and other drama not just as abstract words to be read, but as recipes for creating something in the physical, human world. Plays with sets, actors, costumes, and props. Making my teaching and research material is my way of honoring her memory. In their applications of these honors, faculty are asked to provide a plan of how the endowed chair would extend their research, their teaching, how it would serve the Wheaton community. This recipient wrote that, quote, "Over the next 4.5 years, I plan to make my research and teaching more material, more connected to the physical world, and more relevant to the concerns of students at Wheaton and beyond. To do this, I will link the reading and interpretation that is at the heart of literary studies to physical artifacts by creating and helping students create objects of iron, wood, parchment, and leather, and by transforming words on a page into sounds to be heard. I will also help students to see how relevant and essential to their lives literature, culture, writing, and research are by enabling them to participate in its creation, not just reading about research, but performing it and writing it up for publication." I'm very pleased to announce that the Francis A. Shirley Endowed Professorship is awarded to Mike Drout, Professor of English. Mike. Congratulations, Professor Drout. The next endowed professorship is the Hannah Goldberg Chair in Teaching Innovation, which recognizes creative and innovative contributions to teaching at Wheaton, especially the use of new technologies in and outside of the classroom. Established in 1997, this professorship honors Hannah Goldberg, an education innovator who served as provost of Wheaton from 1983 to 1998. In 1991, she served for a year as acting president of the college. Hannah was instrumental in the creation of the Whelan Center for Work and Learning, restructuring the curriculum with a new emphasis on non-Western cultures, creating a work-study program, and converting Wheaton to coeducation. The Goldberg Chair recipient has proposed to use the 5-year professorship to develop new pathways for students to see the application of skills learned through study of the humanities. In their proposal, they wrote, quote, "A central driver in all my pedagogical decisions has been preparing undergraduates for their post-Wheaton lives. Mostly this has meant emphasizing skills within courses, demonstrating to students the skills transferability from a history classroom into a professional environment, including professional development elements in my senior seminars, working with students and advisees on resumes, cover letters, and interviewing." Along with support for students, one colleague described this recipient as, quote, "an integral part of supporting and sharing scholarship on campus." This year, the Hannah Goldberg Chair in Teaching Innovation is awarded to Dana Polanichka, Professor of History. Congratulations, Professor Polanichka. At this point in the ceremony, I would like to congratulate all of the student and faculty award recipients and all of our graduating seniors. The work that you've done here at Wheaton has prepared you for the work that you will go out and do in the world beyond. I would like to invite Dr. Darnell to the podium for a few final remarks.
Congratulations, everyone. To the graduates, I apologize. I learned I might need to get my prescription changed in my glasses, so I can read it very well. But seriously, congratulations to all of you and to the faculty. This is what Wheaton stands for and all of the amazing work you have done and what you will continue to do as alum of this fine institution. So, at this point, I'm sitting between you and food. So please join us out on the Dimple for a barbecue and to engage in dialogue and fun with family and friends. And now I'd like to ask Peyton Rogers to come up and sing the Wheaton anthem. So please rise if you can and join us in that. Also, we do ask that everyone stay seated until the academic procession